With great power comes great responsibility, the line that cements the Spider-Man character and serves as the baseline for virtually everything he stands for. Most notably known as the line that Uncle Ben says to Peter before he passes away. But when it comes to who said that line best and which moment meant the most, the conversation gets interesting. My personal choice here goes to Martin Sheen's version in The Amazing Spider-Man. Now, before you click off, let me cook here. No disrespect to any of the other versions of the line whatsoever. It's always been iconic, but this version has always struck me in a bit of a more realistic and relatable way. In this scene, Ben doesn't even say the line exactly. He switches it up a little bit, and instead of saying, with great power comes great responsibility, he says, if you could do good things for other people, then you have a moral obligation to do those things. Not choice,
responsibility.
Now, his version of the line was initially criticized pretty harshly for not being true or faithful to the actual message. But I think it's the exact contrary of that. And this line is actually the best interpretation of that mantra, not just for the film, but in real life. The line, with great power comes great responsibility, is strong alone and sends a message. However, it comes with the pretext of having great power, an ability to do something great, something powerful. On a surface level, of course, it's referring to Peter's powers as Spider-Man. But on a deeper level, it's describing the ability for somebody to help somebody else, and the power that Peter now has to do that. And that alone is a powerful message. Now, overall, the message in the Amazing Spider-Man version is virtually the same. However, the way that it's delivered is why I like it more. It has nothing to do with great power. It has nothing to do with something that makes you special or anything different than anybody else. It mentions nothing about having any sorts of gifts or powers or ability. Nothing that separates you from any other average person, except for your ability to help other people. Saying how if you can do good things, if you possess the ability to help other people at any capacity, do good things for others in any way, at any level, no matter if you have a power, an influence, or anything that sets you apart, just the ability and the want to help somebody, then that alone binds you to the moral obligation to do that thing. If you have the ability to help somebody, you have a moral obligation to help them. Not out of a choice or a duty, not out of a transaction or a repayment of your power, but simply because it's the responsibility to do the right thing, to help those simply because you can. And that applies to everybody, not just Spider-Man, not Peter Parker, or any sort of a hero with a power. And that's why I felt that this version of the line always strikes the most deep and means the most, because it can really apply to everybody, even you.